What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we will be demoing some new makeup products. I'm a little bit nervous about one of these products, and I'm going to show you because I am the type of person that I do still watch reviews even though I review products. Like, that's just me. But that product is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch Press Powder. So I have this powder in the loose powder in the shade Banana Bread. I picked this up at Sephora inside of Kohl's. They did not have Banana Bread, but they had Blondie, which is the shade lighter. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if it looks a little light. I feel like we've seen enough of the packaging. You flip it up. It comes with this little sponge, which I am not going to use. I'm not even going to do it to myself. So we're going to be trying this out today. I also have the REM Beauty foundation. This is Ariana Grande's foundation in the shade Medium 10W. I'm trying to decide. So I do still have the Natasha Denona, which I have not even touched it yet, you guys. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and play with this one today. I did pick up these little palettes, which I'm excited to do some fall looks. These are by CoverGirl, the clean palette. So I have this one, which is more of like burgundy tones. This is definitely fall appropriate, as well as the smoky palette. Now, I did use this one and it was gorgeous. So yeah, I'm trying to see and make sure. Oh, we also do still have the Kosas eyeshadow palette. So I will decide which one I'm going to go ahead and use. I did also dabble into this one as well. And then I do want to kind of get into a little bit about where I've been, you guys. But we'll do that in the video. So also, real quick, I picked up some new lipsticks from the Sephora collection. So I kind of want to use this one. I don't usually do like dark lip colors, like dark brown lip colors, but I kind of want to use this in today's video because since we are in fall, let's spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video because I'm rambling at this point. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, you guys. So for today's video, I'm going to go in. I'm trying to see because the shimmer shades in this Natasha Denona palette are gorgeous. Like, I really want to tap into them. Like I said, I did use the Kosas palette over the weekend, and it was beautiful. I'm really trying to decide because, you know what, let's go in with Kosas because I don't feel like we've seen too many reviews on this one. But especially for me, I might not put on lashes today. Something has been really irritating my eyes and I don't know what it has been. So let's go ahead and jump into the Kosas, and I will try to point to each shade that I use. All right, you guys, so let's jump into this eye look. For starters, we are going to go in with the shade Gaze. It is right under the lightest shade in the palette. Again, this is Gaze, and I am just going to take that in the crease and just kind of like softly place that. And obviously, you know, of course, try to blend it out a little bit. But how have you guys been doing? I truly have missed filming. I have been saying for like the past week, like, I gotta film. But like I said, there was a lot that happened. So now going in with the shade Drape. It is right next to Gaze. But yes, you guys, my family and I, we had a loss, and the funeral was last week. So that is kind of where we were. For the brow bone, I'm going to do the shade Hint, which is again the lightest shade. It is more of like a vanilla. It's not like a true white. So I really do like that. I feel like this blends and complements very well with, you know, obviously the skin tone and a nice brow bone color. So now we're going in with the deepest shade in the palette, which is called Flaunt. Again, the colors blended very well to me. I honestly do think that this is an everyday go-to eyeshadow palette. One thing that I will say, this palette was $40. I feel like the price point is a little high for only receiving 8 shades. But I kind of feel like that's what you get, you know, with shopping at Sephora. So can't necessarily be mad at the price point, but they could have knocked about $10 off if you want me to be very honest. Okay, so for the shimmer shade, I decided to tap into this shade called Sheen inside of the Natasha Denona palette. I did not spray the brush at first. I simply just packed it on the lid with like this flat concealer brush, and literally it is a sheen. It is exactly what the name of this shade is. It gives a nice wet look to the eye. And later on in the video, I am going to spray my brush just to kind of ampen up that sheen shade. But this has made me even more excited to play with the Natasha Denona palette entirely because of this particular shade right here. So now we're going to go ahead and do the other eye, which I don't typically do both eyes on camera, but we are here, girl, and we're just here. Okay. But yes, I hope you guys have been good. And, you know, life has just been lifing. Okay. And, it just has to get better. It truly does. So I'm praying for each and every one of you out there, whatever you are going through. And let me know down in the comments, have you guys picked up any of these products? Have you guys tested out any of these items that I'm reviewing in today's video? Like, let me know what your thoughts are, so that way, you know, we can kind of chime in together. I feel like lately the concealers have been killing it, because I feel like there have been so many concealer reviews. I feel like in the beginning of the year, we kind of had like the blush palette. I mean, like not blush palettes, but like the cream liquid blushes, powder blushes. I feel like blushes were, you know, the go-to earlier in the year. Then they switched it to like every brand is dropping concealer. So literally, y'all, it is one thing after another with these brands, and it is so hard to keep up. And you know, I'm at the point where I just kind of want to make sure that I'm purchasing stuff that I know that I'm gonna use. There will be some things that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna purchase it just to do a review. But lately, other than the concealers, I don't think I've been as excited for many makeup releases as of recently. All right, for primer, going in with the Cali Ray primer in the pore area, or the area where I get the oiliest, just to kind of, wow, just to kind of make sure, you know, that stays in place. And on the perimeter of the face, we're going to go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, just to kind of make sure that we are gripping that foundation, that it doesn't move, and that we are secure for the day. All right, you guys, so going in with the REM Beauty Sweetener Foundation. I do have mine in the shade Medium 10W. So I am pumping it out on this little like palette thing. I did 2 pumps, and we are going to spread that over the face. Today, I'm going to go ahead and use a brush. Lately, I have been on a brush kick with blending out like foundation and concealer. I think this is a really, really good match. Personally, I love that I have gotten so much better with picking my foundation shades and concealer shades. Sometimes I still struggle as well, but I think that overall this is a really good match. I feel like anything deeper would have been a little bit too dark, but this retails for $35. There are 60 shades. Again, I picked mine up inside of Ulta. So I'm blending this out with the Juvia's Place foundation brush. And it says this is a clinically proven skincare color hybrid delivering instant hydration that improves over time with buildable, blendable coverage. So this is vegan, cruelty-free. Those are the claims. It does not say anything about, you know, necessarily, well, it does say it's like a hydrating type of foundation, which I really honestly don't see. The texture of this and the coverage of this definitely reminds me of One Size BBB cream. So if you don't like that one and the texture, you might not like this one. I mean, it's not as thick, but it's definitely a thicker foundation, and it definitely, compared to other foundations, the texture of this one definitely reminds me of the One Size BBB cream. Overall, I think it is beautiful. Just looking at the skin looks nice and smooth. It does not look like any texture, anything coming through. So for cream bronzer, I'm going to use the shade Medium Dark. This is the Makeup by Mario cream bronzer. The cream bronzer comes off a little bit more cool tone than the powder. Just personally from what I noticed within this video. And I was trying to push up more of the product, and it's not coming up. And I literally just recently bought this, so I'm trying to figure out where the product is in this. But that's for another day. So we are going to use that to do the cream bronzing. And then I'm just going to take my same foundation brush and kind of blend that out. Just because, you know, if anything, it has that foundation on it. Any mistakes, the foundation is there to kind of clean it up already. So for liquid blush, we are using the Jaclyn Cosmetics Plush Blush. It is a blurring cheek tint in the shade Plush Peach, which is a warm peach shade. All right, you guys, so I was going to go directly over top of my concealer with the Huda Beauty powder, right? But from reading it, this is more of like a finishing powder. So let's just kind of get into it really quick. I'm gonna bring it up on Sephora's website because I just want to make sure that I'm using it correctly. From some of the videos that I have seen, I wasn't 100% sold on this powder. If this is a finish, like more of like a pressed finishing powder, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. Only because I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of like, girl, I don't know, hold on. Here we go. So this is the Easy Bake and Snatch Pressed Talc-Free Brightening and Setting Powder. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'm going to take my Metamorphosis Banana Powder in the shade Cake. I am going to set the under eyes first, then apply Huda over top. So in the Huda Beauty powder, it does come in 8 different shades. You get 8.5 grams of product, retails for $38. So it says this is a pressed powder with a luminous matte finish designed for targeted brightening to instantly snatch your face. The key to an instant lifted look, easy bake and snatch, comes with a precision sponge that instantly brightens and blurs for a filtered finish in seconds. Medium to full coverage, 8 to 9 hour wear, sweat and humidity proof. So this is infused with hyaluronic acid and an avocado derivative for a creamy, non-drying, incredibly soft and silky texture to create a bright, lifted and filtered finish. So with all of that being said, with reading that, and this is directly from Huda Beauty's website, this is more of like a finishing, brightening powder, not necessarily a under eye setting powder. Let me know if you guys are getting that from what I just read or if it's just me. But I feel like that's why it doesn't look the greatest when using it before loose powder. All right, speed review. Let's just start off with the foundation. First of all, the coverage of this foundation is beautiful. What I will say, if you have tried the one size turn up the base foundation or the BBB cream, the texture is very similar to that. So if you didn't like the thickness and texture of the one size BBB cream, you might not like this one. For me, being oily skin and you know, the thickness, the natural matte isn't, I think it's like a natural finish on this one. But what I will say, I will insert photos here. I wore this foundation because I was going to do like a review and wear test, and I never got a chance to really record and sit with this, but I did wear it, and I noticed that on the nose area the makeup was completely gone. It wasn't even just like separated, like it was completely gone. So I did use different primers on the day that I tried this. I'm hoping with the primers that I use today that I don't have that same issue with this foundation. But overall, like I said, it is a good foundation. It looks good on the skin. I just feel like with any foundation, any concealer, you have to, you know, sometimes not every product is going to work with your skincare routine or certain primers that you might use. You're going to have to like finagle certain foundations. That's kind of what I feel with this one. But again, overall, beautiful coverage. I do like it, and I personally will continue to use it. And again, I will continue to see how throughout the day this wears on my nose area, which is mainly where I get oily in my T-zone. So I'm wondering if that's why it wore off in that area. But again, I will keep you guys updated on that. As far as the eyeshadow palette, perfect. Like this is the perfect everyday nude palette. I love that the colors blended well together. There was no patchiness. There was no, you know, obviously when you're dipping your brush into the pan, you will see like fallout in the pan. But I didn't have that issue once applying, you know, the brush to the eyes and actually blending the colors together. Natasha Denona, I have to use her. I have to. But just using the one shade that I used, where is it? It is called Sheen. Just using this one today on the eyes, like look at that. It provided this like wet look to the lids. So I am excited to continue to play with that palette. I will probably use that in my next video because I kind of want to do that with, I want to do a bold lip, like a true bold. Like, I feel like there was something else that I used. Last but not least, this Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch. Honestly, I'm going to be very honest. You could do without. Looking at this, swatching it, there is some luminosity to it because it does have, what is it, mica? That is the first ingredient in it, which has some type of, it's not really glitter, but it's almost like a pressed shimmer, if you will. So I feel like that's why a lot of people were seeing that glow on their under eyes. So for me personally, this is more of like a finishing powder, a topper. I don't feel like my under eyes look as bad as I feel like I've seen on some other reviews, and it is probably because I set with a loose powder first and then went over top with this one. But because my loose powder was kind of already bright, I don't feel like this powder added any more brightness for me. So just me personally, it's not a product that I will repurchase, or I feel like I need to go out and buy other shades with this product. And that's just my personal take on it. I don't think that it's worth it. I do have maybe 1 or 2 other finishing powders and I don't even use them. So I'll continue to play with this a little bit more. I'm not just going to say that I'm going to go ahead and return it yet. But but I just don't think that this is necessarily worth it. It didn't really wow me. And again, like I said, it could be because I used a loose powder prior to going in with this one, but it just didn't do it for me. That is it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so very much for sticking around and getting through this video with me. It is rough. It's been a minute since I did a video, since I posted. So you know how that could be. Definitely rusty. But that is my take, you guys, on the products that I used today. Let me know what you all think. Let me know if you guys picked up the foundation or the pressed powder. Like, how do you feel about them? If you have them, if you've used them, or what are your thoughts? Are you going to go out and still pick them up? Again, I always say, if you still want to try something out, by all means, go ahead, just to get your own personal opinion on it. But just me being very honest, this is what I think of these products. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you all stay safe and be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.